push it real good. Push it.
I almost regret that.
Huh?
I gotta timestamp this so I can pick that up for the opener.
Shit.
Welcome out to the Nerd Effect News Show. We are at episode number 22. I am one of your nerd anchors, Dustin Vancour, joined by my fellow buddies.
Back a Mogan.
Mason, Ireland.
Make your friend laugh.
That was awesome. Yay! Well, Nikki and I especially are a little loopy this evening. I'm not sure what caused it.
There's
I
no
was
real
up
reason.
until 2 a.m., so
I got nothing.
slight delirium going on. Which
I was
is,
watching Invader Zim all day. I think it snapped my brain.
But in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to snap your brain on anything. That's the way to go.
Bacon in the soap.
Yes.
I was waiting for you to do it, and then you didn't.
Sorry, I was in an exhale when I should have started.
It's okay. Oxygen's important too, I guess.
Yeah.
It has taken us about a half an hour to get this show going.
Mostly my fault.
It's okay. All the giggles. So anyway, we are here this evening to talk about news. Opening news. How was your guys this week?
Introducing cats to each other.
Ooh,
That's an adventure.
yeah.
Wow.
I've been on that adventure several times, and I do not envy you, sir. How's it going?
There are a whole lot of...
Well,
Fluffy tails everywhere.
yeah, well, the girlfriend's cat is this really big boy cat. He's like a
Discussed our
dog-sized
giant
cat.
man cats, yeah.
Yeah. And he's actually a really nice cat. He likes to snuggle up to all the peoples, and he tries really hard to get to know the girls, and the girls just freak their shit out. So every time he comes out trying to say hi, it's just walls of hiss, and then he runs away.
Oh, big old mad cat scared of your little girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's adorable.
So
Sounds like my high school years.
Aw, buddy.
Running away from pussy.
Aw. Oh, it was cute until you said it like that.
That's sad.
Story
That's
of my
really
life.
sad. That's the title of my autobiography. Running from pussy.
Womp womp. The depressingly true story of Dustin Vancourt. Running away from pussy. Subtitle: The Dustin Story.
yeah, so that would be it for me.
It's exciting though.
Mason, how have you been, sir?
I've been good. I've had a terribly boring week. Well, up until last night.
Oh?
Do tell.
So, coming home from gaming last night, and so Mike and I are coming down Overland. Take a left onto Maple Grove, get over the overpass, and all of a sudden there is a cop car at every single intersection.
Oh.
Like every time one of the side streets meets Maple Grove, there's a cop.
Well then.
Yeah.
They hunting somebody down, I take it?
Yeah, so they were hunting somebody down, and they, so we get into my neighborhood and everything, and they're like, yeah, we think he's armed, but, like...
Was it the dude that stole the cars?
It wasn't a dude that stole cars from what I heard. He broke into a house.
Mind you, at 8 p.m. on
Yeah.
a Friday.
That's
On a
all I know.
Saturday.
So
No,
broad
that was the same
daylight.
guy.
Oh, okay.
I think because when I pulled out of my our apartment complex, I saw that car that got smashed, and there were cops out by it, and I think it was that same guy. Like he stole a car and broke into a house, and
Okay.
I think it was like all one rampage by them all.
Okay.
That does sound vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so they caught him last night in my neighborhood.
Oh, that's fun.
So, yeah. So that was,
and a half.
That was kind of interesting, you know. And I liked their description of him. He was a white male wearing a black T-shirt. One terribly good description.
Something you want to tell us, buddy, or
Well, how many white males are currently sitting at this table wearing black T-shirts?
3?
3 out of 3.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's funny.
Oh, and his dad was wearing a black T-shirt too.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's another reason it was funny.
that's pretty funny.
So, but yeah, I just know the whole white male wearing a black T-shirt. Awesome description. That doesn't describe 30% of the guys in Boise.
30? I think it's way more than 30.
I was given variants for white T-shirts, blue, green, red.
Well, yeah.
You know.
My glasses are fogging up. This is ridiculous.
So, but yeah, just the description of white male wearing a black T-shirt. Really, in Boise,
there.
Idaho. Okay.
You don't say.
Nice job there, Sherlock.
You know, not to bash on the cops. I just thought the description was funny because, you know, also he's saying this two guys sitting in a truck wearing black T-shirts.
Yeah.
So,
That's funny.
yeah. But yeah, no, they caught him. Or they caught somebody they thought was him, you know, by my place. And yeah,
Well, I'm glad you're alive.
I'm glad I'm alive too. Wasn't too worried about it, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, little yeah, and the fact that he was doing this rampage of stuff at like 8:30 at night, like there's a whole lot of cops on duty at 8:30 at night on a Saturday night.
And it's still broad daylight.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't broad daylight still. I mean, it was twilight,
But bright enough that people can, you would think, get a better description than white male black
Well,
T-shirt.
yeah,
It's 8:30 right now, and I guess it's pitch black.
yeah,
Oh.
Interesting.
When
Fall
did
is,
that start happening?
fall is upon us, guys.
yeah,
Somebody
couple
tell
weeks
the
ago.
weather.
Yeah.
yeah.
Seriously,
This
95.
90 degrees bullshit. No, it's got to stop.
I am stubborn as hell. I got the sweatshirt from Spink last weekend,
Yeah.
and I love it. And it's the softest hoodie of all the hoodies in all the land. So I've been fucking wearing this thing because it's comfortable, and it's cold in our office usually.
Our Nerd Effect hoodies are pretty soft.
Yeah, but I've washed mine a bunch of times, so it's less soft. This is like the outside's like a sweater, and the inside is like
fake wool.
it's like a cloud. Yeah, it's amazing. Even Zeus is just like, I'm gonna make all the biscuits on this. It's mine now. Sorry. Yeah,
Make all the biscuits.
he likes to make biscuits.
Buttermilk?
Yeah.
What just happened?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I brought it back to my cat.
Yes, you did. Well, Nikki,
Yeah.
how was your week?
Mine was good. My yesterday was rad. Got
nice.
some quality adulting time in with my friend Kat from high school. She took me out to do wine tasting stuff, and it was great. Never liked wine before. Found several that I like very much. And she got me some bottles of wine for my birthday. It was
Yay.
really great, yeah. There's like huckleberry wine in my fridge, which is as delicious as it sounds. Like, wait, it doesn't taste like sour things? It just tastes like delicious alcoholic huckleberry juice? I can drink this. I could drink lots of this. I'm not gonna drink lots of it, but I could. It's one of those things where if you did not know that it was wine, you'd just be like, this juice is delicious! Glug, glug, glug.
Half hour later, you're cross-eyed and don't know why.
Exactly, yeah. It's tasty stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never been a big wine guy.
I
Like,
haven't
at
either.
all.
I think it's because I think if you try the different ones, that's what does it. Because I tried all the things, and they just give you like a little bit in a glass. You pay like $5, and you get to try it. They've got like a variety of 5 or 6 wines.
Is this downtown, right? Or
No, this was out in Caldwell. We went to I can't remember what the first one was
do you go
called.
to a winery?
Yeah,
Like
like at the
Saint Chapelle?
actual wineries. Yeah, we went to Saint Chapelle was the second one. That's the one that had the huckleberry that was so delicious. And then we went to this last one, and I can't remember what it's called, like Bittern or something like that. And the guy that
Bitterroot, not Bitterroot.
no Bittern, I think, or something like that.
We almost got married out at one of those places.
Yeah, the guy that owns it is a scientist, and he's actually giving a talk at I think it was CWI on Friday about bees.
Okay.
Like his winery's actually got signs up about it being a pollinator habitat and stuff like that. It was really I thought that was really cool. I wanted to get to talk to him more, but he'd been dipping into the reserves a little bit, I think, by the time we had gotten there.
He hadn't been spitting after tasting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we didn't either, but, you know. Yeah, so that was really super fun. It was nice.
I can't say I wouldn't go on a wine tasting if you offered it to me. Like, I think that would be
It's-
fun, even if I don't like wine.
$5 a winery per person. You get to try all the different ones. And at St. Chappelle's, you even got, they have those stemless glasses. I don't know if you've seen
The
those.
flutes?
No. They're
Oh.
like tumblers.
They're like the top of a wine glass without the
Yeah.
stem or the base.
Oh.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's just like a glass with a rounded bottom. And they had like special 40th anniversary St. Chappelle ones that you got with your wine tasting. So I got a free glass, and I got to try, the 5 different wines. And then if you buy a bottle, they take your $5 that you paid for the tasting off the price of the bottle. So it's actually not anywhere near as ridiculously snooty expensive as I had always thought it would be, and I would have tried it years ago if I'd known, because it was super fun and it was so pretty because it's just out in the middle of
Sawtooth
nowhere.
Winery. Sawtooth Winery is where we almost got married at.
Yeah, I don't think that was one of the ones we went to. I can't remember what the first
That
one
was
but
that one's in Nampa.
yeah. Well, one of the first ones we went to was like right by Nampa, but maybe that was it then. But they had a really good I can't remember what it was called. I like the fruity wines, is what I learned. I don't like red wine.
Neither.
It dries my mouth out. It's weird.
I like white wine. 'cause
Makes me
it's
feel
sweeter.
not classy. Yeah. You should try the one that I got that I can't remember the name of. But yeah, that was fun.
Oh, yeah. Heads up. We forgot the pop filters today. So,
Oh, yeah. we Dustin.
I forgot the pop
There you
filters.
go.
Don't try and disperse the blame on this one.
Hey, this is a group effort. Everybody's on this ship together.
Hey, I remind
Yeah,
you
but if
about
But when
this-
someone forgets the supplies,
If the six,
Mutiny.
if the ship's stranded in the middle of the ocean without, barrels of water and it's one person's fault, you're the person we're throwing overboard to make the rations last longer. Sorry.
Ouch. I gotcha. Understood. Aye, Captain. Next time I'll remember. I was in a hurry. I was also in the middle of grilling hot dogs.
I think Invader Zim just ruined hot dogs for me. It was the one where Gaz can only taste pork. And therefore the only thing she eats is hot dogs because they taste right. And it was just like, oh god, if I have to watch her eat one more gross cartoon hot dog.
That week was fairly unproductive. But,
Sometimes those are good.
well, we went to,
You did yard stuff. That's not unproductive.
well, the last day we did it was on
But we haven't recorded
Monday.
since then.
That's true. But yard stuff, we had the Hydra Seed come in. That was fascinating to watch. Dude comes in with a giant hose, and it looks like it
That's what she said.
looks like it just starts puking like neon green shit all
That's what
over
she
your
said.
yard.
I don't.
2 girls, 1 Hydra Seeder. Actually, it was 2 dudes, but
Yeah, that's better.
but yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was just like blah blah blah, just spitting green neon shit all over my yard. It's been about a week. We got little buds coming up now. It's pretty
Nice.
interesting. So we should hopefully have a full yard within. They said you'll see significant growth within 3 weeks, and then like you should have like a full yard within 6 weeks.
When do you get to start like mowing it and doing shit like that?
3 to 4 weeks, he said.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
excited.
got like a flat backyard with grass in it and
Well, it's not flat, it's sloped, but it's
but it's
it's leveled.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
it's exciting.
it isn't that nightmare that your backyard used to be.
No. If you saw the before pictures, it would look like you were in a desert jungle. Like, that's the only way I can describe it.
I kept trying to talk him into building a Via TARDIS playhouse.
I don't have a tree that'll support it.
You could put it on stilts. I had a friend with a treehouse on stilts.
We could do a
You can just do like a
swing,
shed.
like a swing set with a
Yeah,
full
like a
setup and
fort
everything.
on the top. Make it a TARDIS.
painted into a TARDIS.
I would volunteer time to help you build it if you did that for her because I would want to be a part of that project.
But then we went to Art in the Park yesterday, so that was probably the fun thing we did. Went and stopped by, saw Millie over at Miss Courageous and Repop Gifts, and
Your picture of Evie with her snow cone and the face that she was making was
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
and we and Justin Hillgrove is down there again, and he does like these really cool like pop culture mashup paintings. Like he's got a what is it? It's a Charlie Brown and Evil Dead mashup.
Yeah, I've got that button.
Yeah,
on my bag actually that I have with me today.
like that's a pretty popular one. He also had a
You're a zombie, Charlie Brown.
yeah.
It's pretty great, actually.
It's like all the Peanuts characters are all zombies except for him, and he's holding up his boomstick and he's got a chainsaw in his other hand.
But he's on
He's
Snoopy's
on
doghouse.
Snoopy's doghouse.
Like even Woodstock is a zombie and coming for him. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
But he was down there again, signing all of his artwork and stuff like that. He has some Doctor Who stuff that's pretty cool. I bought one of those for myself a couple years back. And we bought a couple little pieces of artwork for Evie to hang up because he does like his impsandmonsters.com is his website. So he does like these cool little like kind of child friendly looking little monsters and stuff like that you can frame and hang up in your bedroom. So he does that, and then he does also the pop culture stuff, which is kind of cool. So it's fun seeing his stuff. The part of me that like Art in the Park is fun because it's a cool gathering of people. But what passes as quote unquote art sometimes
Yeah.
fucks with my head. It's horrible. Like 3/4 of it is either A, food vendors, or B, like people just peddling their shit. Like it's not. I expect artists to peddle their shit, which is fine. But when your primary craft is like wooden spoons, like I don't know,
God, I love the wooden spoons.
That hurts my brain.
No, there's this one place there that does. So they have a landscaping company, and when they cut down the trees, they make them into wooden spoons. Like those are hand carved. That's art.
Well, that's one thing, but like I'm just
no,
trying
like
to,
all the wooden spoons that are there are all hand carved.
or like the
You gotta talk to people.
the hammock, like the hammock swings, like those are cool. I don't know if I could call those art though.
See, I feel
That's
that way
that
about
feels like a craft to me.
the
Like
18 stands of lawn ornaments that are made out of like tractor seats and horseshoes that are welded together.
Yeah.
I feel that way about those.
But there was one. I did see one of those that was really amusing because it looked like these little like Pac-Man characters with teeth holding up like machine guns, little army guys that, and there was one of them where they were carrying away a lawn gnome. Like
Okay,
it was
that's
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah, that's unique to me
because that's unique, so it
Yeah.
doesn't fall under the umbrella of fucking storks made out of tractor parts or whatever the hell ever. Dog bowl holders that look like dogs that are made out of like truck springs. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You can picture exactly what I'm saying when I say that.
Yeah.
And I'm not even describing it that well, so.
And then like every photographer known to man in the Northwest seems to be there.
But then at the same time, like there are people
Like I don't
that
know
like
how, I don't know
all
how
the
Will
things
Jones
there.
doesn't have a booth down there. Like that man can
He
take
needs one.
some crazy good pictures, but he
Yeah.
never does anything with them.
My favorite booth there, big surprise to people that actually know me, is the Hatter Dasher.
Uh-huh.
That guy is amazing.
Yeah, he does a lot of cool stuff.
He's been coming there since I was a kid. The guy that's got like he's got like the cast iron sewing machine that he totes with him. He actually knows about the books caps for sale. Like he's got books about hats in his booth, like children's books, and that is my favorite book from when I was a kid. And we were talking about it. Like my goal is every year I go to that to get one of his hats because I'm like, this guy's not going to be doing this that much longer. He makes good stuff. So
And the one-man band guy that has
is
little
he
wings
there
on his
still?
back. Yeah, he's still kicking
yes, I
her.
haven't
He's
seen him
everywhere.
the last couple times, and I was concerned.
Yeah, he's down there. That dude's been doing that for 20, 30 years easy. Like, and he hasn't changed. Like, he looks the same he did 20 years ago.
He looks like Bob Ross without a fro. That's what I think.
And a full beard. Oh, I guess Bob Ross had a full beard, huh?
Yeah.
But it's more...
And then he dresses like a gypsy, awesome person. Like that's what his outfit always reminds me of. And then he does this thing. I remember being a little kid and sitting down and watching him.
He's a vampire.
He might be actually because it doesn't seem like he should be that spry anymore.
Yeah, he's still got the little...
I
he
mean-
does the little kicks with the little drum on his back.
Yeah,
and,
and it's got wings for people who aren't local. It's got like actual bird wings attached to it on strings, so they flap around when he jumps. It's cool.
yeah. He was there again, so...
Yeah,
He's still
I've got
he's
an
still
old
alive
video
and
of him
kicking.
somewhere.
But yeah. So it was a good time. That was a good day yesterday, except for the fact that it reached 95 degrees yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the only part that sucked.
Fuck that.
But so that was fun. And I took Abby to the park today too. So just Ann Morrison instead of Julie Davis.
Nice.
Ta-da!
Yay.
And there's been life, and I've completed my 3rd week of school.
Yay.
How's it going?
Still at 100%.
Nice, buddy.
We'll see how that pans out after this week.
You can do it.
I think I'll be okay.
You're a smart
I may
guy.
not be 100%, but I think I'll be okay.
You'll have an A.
I'll probably have an A.
I bet you do.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, on to the newses.
Yes. The
Okay.
Newsies?
The newsies?
Shh.
Newses.
Thank you for understanding my musicals reference.
No, I got it.
He was just going to ignore it because he's a bad man.
I've never seen newsies,
Very
so
bad man.
or heard.
Totally. Oh, for everyone listening who likes musicals as much as I do, West Side Story is on Amazon Prime now. Like, for free if you have Amazon Prime. And it's every bit as good as you remember it being. Just throwing that out there. There were snap fights happening in my room last night. It was really exciting. I know, I loved it. I'm like, when you're in jail, all the way. It's my favorite musical.
Okay, Mike's ready to roll.
I know. I'm sorry. I like musicals, Mike.
All right, here we go.
Bye, bye. Whoa.
Okay, wait.
Wait,
You smashed us, but we smashed Mason. I think that means that you just beat all of... Wait, but Mason gets you.
Yep. Ah, we ended up.
ooh, interesting.
It was a draw.
Okay.
Okay.
I think what happens here is that Mason beats me.
Yeah. And you beat us, but we beat Mason, so...
Yeah. It's a draw.
Okay.
We can't count that as a point. Like, we each get a point for beating Mason.
But then I get a point for beating Dustin. Dustin puts.
We all get a point. Well, Dustin got 2 points that time, then. Because he
Does
beat
that mean
Mike and
I win? We can do this on a point system now? Is that how this works?
It makes sense.
Okay, a
There's-
point system makes sense that way, which means Dustin won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck, here I was thinking I just got obliterated, but
No.
turns out I actually won.
No, yeah. You did, sir.
One rock, two scissors.
Stop making Two Girl One Cup references. It's gross. That's not soft serve. That's not where
Guess
poop
what?
goes.
And the cup's probably made out of paper, so
That's
here we
not
go.
where poop goes.
I have yet to see that.
I have yet to see that either, specifically because I know what happens because of the internet.
I made it about 30 seconds in, and then I
You
was
actually
done.
tried?
I tried it. Well, it's
You
like,
knew what it
like
was
A
when you
it was
tried.
like a challenge. I was like,
No.
I can handle this.
No, I
It's
would take
nothing.
being dubbed a loser to not take that
the
challenge.
first 10 seconds is two chicks making out, and you're like, yeah, and then all of a sudden it just gets fucking weird after that, and it's just, Very rarely do I watch a video that gives me a gag reflex. That did it. It was bad.
That's the point.
Don't do it.
It's like Goatsy and Tub Girl. Like, it's if you know what's happening, why would you click the link?
Because you want to see if you can brave through it.
No, I know I can't. I'm fine with that. Mind bleach has yet to be invented. I'm okay with not
Mind
braving
bleach.
things.
Yay. Okay.
GoSay.cx is such a fun site.
Don't nobody go there. Mason's full of shit, and you will never be able to unsee the things that you have seen. So
And before I continue on with my news, do you want to update people on the? We're gonna go right from Goatsy and Two Girls One Cup right into your contest.
Well,
that you're
voting-
No,
promoting.
we're not.
no, voting's still open through tomorrow.
Right now, that's what I'm saying. Do you want?
But no one's gonna know.
This won't be up by then, so
Yeah.
let's not talk about Nerd Effect Jr. right after talking about Two Girls One Cup.
I thought you were gonna give it like a week.
No,
Okay.
until the 14th.
Okay.
We only
Well,
have
never
5
mind.
entries. People don't need that long to vote on 5 entries.
Yeah. Okay.
We handed out over 50 forms.
And I'm sure they were just like, yeah, whatever, you nobodies.
No, I think it was probably more along the lines of kids are excited to color things. They don't really want to go through the effort of sending it in, because I was like that as a kid. I loved picking up the Albertsons coloring sheets. Never actually turned one in. So,
Sure, neither did I.
yeah.
All right. Well, never mind then. So congratulations to the winner.
Whoever it may
whoever
be.
you are. Okay, let's see. My birthday. My story is fairly easy. Today is September 13th, 2015, which apparently marks the 30th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers.
Yay!
Yay! I'm a big video game nerd, especially when it comes to retro games, and Mario was like my first real foray into home gaming.
Let's be honest
'Cause
here.
it
You're
came with
obsessed
the
Mario.
Nintendo.
He's wearing a Mario shirt right now.
This is in celebration of the actual game. I mean, look at it.
But
It
you
is
you
the
have it
game.
because you're super into Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Super
saying.
into Super Mario.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You dig Mario.
I just haven't owned a Nintendo system since the Super NES. Well, technically, I own a Wii, but my wife played it. I didn't touch it.
And there were even Mario games on it you could have played.
I know the new Super Mario Brothers game was actually pretty fun. I actually did play that on my younger sister-in-law's Wii.
I have Super Mario Galaxy, and I can't put the damn disc in because I'm stuck at this part, and I swear to God I'm gonna chuck the Wii out the window because I've spent so much time trying to beat the giant fucking bee in this level.
Nikki's got death eyes.
Twitching. Like,
she
it makes
hasn't-
me so angry.
She didn't blink once the entire sentence.
If anybody has played this game, I hope they know the level I'm talking about. I can't figure
I
it
can
out.
probably find a 13-year-old to come over and beat it for you.
No, I'm seriously about 30 seconds away from having my little brother come over because that's what I used to do when I would get stuck. Keep in mind, my little brother's turning 28 on Friday, which, if you listen to this, I don't know if you do, Jason. Happy early birthday. I love you. I used to always hand him the controller when things got hard. So.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because that's exactly what I was going to do. It's like, there's really no actual like news here. There's nothing super happening, but I was just hoping to go around and
Oh, share Mario stories.
share Mario
Oh,
stories.
I like that.
But, so I
Nikki's is already taking a turn to the dark side.
yeah.
I want to kill Super Mario Galaxy. It's so fun. And then I'm stuck. And usually what I'll do if I get stuck on a game is I'll not play it for a while, then I'll go back to it. Sometimes I'll even start over, further back in the game. Maybe there's a power-up I missed, Sometimes if I'm really stuck, I'll even start the game over. I've done that with God of War before. Doesn't help. Fucking bee. You're supposed to super jump on top of this bee a certain amount of times and smash it, but it drops bombs because that's the thing bees do if you live in Mario World. And I can smash it once, and then it goes crazy and speeds up. And then it's nothing. You can't do a damn thing. I need to be friends with more 13-year-olds, apparently.
How do you beat this bag?
Somebody lend me their child!
My memories of Mario are always usually pretty fond. Obviously, playing it for the first time was pretty funny or fun. My grandma attempting to play it was really fun. I used to come home from kindergarten and find her on it, playing it, trying to figure out how it worked.
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
And it is pretty cute, and you're just constantly yelling at Grandma, "Come on! Hold the B button down, Grandma! Make him run!"
I didn't learn about that until I was an adult, by the way. I think my brother knew, and that's why he was always better at it than I was, and he just didn't fucking tell me.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Man, I remember discovering warp zones for the first time. That was awesome.
Even as an adult, it's exciting when you get into those. Yeah.
It is.
So did anybody else have the index and middle finger technique for the A and B buttons, or did you use your thumb for both?
Oh, thumb.
Thumb, what the hell is wrong with you?
I had that's the technique I used. I used my index and my middle fingers on the A and B button, so I could have one held in and still hit the other one.
I mean, there's two buttons.
You just hold the B button down and roll your thumb when you want to hit A.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
My thumb got
Yeah.
sore, so I just did my
That's what
fingers.
she said. I have this picture that
I've been
I
holding
should
it
actually
back.
send to you so that we could put it up in this post. And it's it's my childhood in a picture. It's my brother and I with my mom, and I'm holding a cat. In and of itself. And then in the background is the tiny little TV that was in my parents' room, and Mario's up, and it's the dungeon level. It's my childhood in a picture. Just cat and Mario. It's amazing.
Yep, I'd be sitting in first grade class when it'd be quiet time, or we're just drawing or whatever, and I'd be sitting going, I would audibly going doo 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 doo. That was first grade for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So things like that. I got voted best at Nintendo in kindergarten.
Oh my God, that's
I was
adorable.
the only kid who owned one, I think.
Did you get a plaque?
Got a paper certificate.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, my grandma does somewhere.
You should frame that shit. That is, I'm not joking. That is nerd cred.
That's a whole geeked at bird thing if I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
Man, I always remembered first Mario, like the first player is the only one who could pause the fucking game.
Yeah.
Oh,
even when it wasn't
God.
your turn. And if you were playing
People
with
would use it as a weapon.
if you were playing with a real motherfucker and you were Luigi trying to jump over a pit, pause that bitch midair and you'll drop like a sack of potatoes.
Yep.
Who else tried to kill the dog in Duck Hunt?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else have the trackpad?
Where you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Our mom didn't let us play with that because apparently we got loud and stinky.
God forbid you might be getting a work.
I know. Well, we also didn't really. Like, we would prop ourselves up with our arms on something. Usually, like, our parents' bedroom had a fireplace. My mom taught private violin and viola lessons at home, so they would, like, send us to the back of the house to play Nintendo and watch X-Men cartoons and, like, DuckTales and shit. Yeah. So what we would do is we would prop ourselves up on chairs and then just stomp our feet as fast as we could. Like, we totally fucking cheated. So, you know.
Well, that's how you do it.
And my brother would hold the Duck Hunt gun to the TV. I'm like, it makes it less accurate. What are you doing? Yeah.
That's good times. That's childhood right there.
Mario.
Actually, one of my one of my friends who had a Nintendo, we'd go over to my house to play my Nintendo. Sometimes we also go to his house and play his Nintendo. Well, his his living room, they had their TV. You know, we had the Nintendo underneath it. But for Duck Hunt, there was a mirror behind his couch, and we'd actually shoot at the mirror. And it would cause the flash to be big enough that it blanketed the whole television. So you would always get the duck.
No matter
That's
what, like it was just a cheat.
Yeah.
Did you know there were other games made for the gun on Nintendo?
Hacksaws.
Hogan's Alley.
I had a paintball one that a creepy
Yeah, I
neighbor
remember
gave me,
Hogan's Alley.
yeah.
Hogan's Alley was fun.
The paintball one was okay, but you had to use the controller and the gun at the same time. That was really hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was kind of a shitty game. Like, I lived in these apartments off Fairview for a while when I first moved out of my parents' house. I had this really creepy neighbor who I think had a crush on 19-year-old Nikki, even though he was like 60. And he just like gave it to me because he saw that I had a Nintendo when he was being creepy. It was hard, but it was fun. It was a cool game.
His creep is your benefit.
Yeah, I know. I like a free Nintendo game. Thanks, dude. But yeah, that one was really dumb and hard. But I kept playing it anyways.
Yay.
Yay!
Again, Nintendo was my jam back in the day. I've been itching to get it out lately, so that's what she said. I know. But yeah, Nintendo. Happy birthday, Mario. You're looking pretty good for 30.
I totally bought Mario for my Wii. I think I might play it when I get home. Like the old Mario, you can buy the old retro games
like
and download
that
them, yeah.
from the Wii store?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Anyway, that's my news. Happy birthday, Mario.
Yay.
We love you.
And Lindsay Brewer.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was born on the day that Mario was released.
No.
Wait,
well,
she's not 30 though.
She's younger than us.
Yeah, never mind.
But, I mean, she
But
shares
still.
a birthday with Mario.
Yeah.
Well, it is the release of Mario Maker, which is how they celebrated it. So Mario Maker, I think, came out actually this week.
Yeah.
I don't think it was initially today, but it was this week.
Well, it
that
would have
came
come out on Tuesday and
On
Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday, depending on where you are in the world.
Yep. So,
Happy birthday, Lindsay.
yeah, if you got Mario Maker, take screenshots of that shit because.
Is that the one where you can make, like, Mario levels?
Yep.
That looks
And show us some of your levels. Send us YouTube videos of your playthrough because I want to see that shit.
Bonus points if you make the Nerd Effect logo in your level.
I can't promise you'll get anything, but that it would be pretty
Bonus
badass.
points.
Yeah.
Bonus points.
You get bonus points.
I will find you a smiley face
Oh,
sticker.
better yet, I'll tell you what. I know it's probably not going to happen, but if somebody does, first person who sends me a playthrough of their video on Mario Maker, not just some random YouTuber's video, don't fuck with me, because I will find you. No, I won't. But
Unless he already knows where you live.
I have a pretty cool. It's actually kind of cool because it kind of fits. But I have a little Tetris puzzle, a little 500-piece Tetris puzzle that I will give you if you incorporate the Nerd Effect logo into your Mario Maker.
Doesn't even have to be
level.
the logo, just have it say Nerd Effect.
Or the NFX,
Yeah.
or something like that. Just first person to do it, even if it's just a screenshot of just that. I don't care. Do it.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. And I'll send you a Tetris puzzle. Deal?
Nice.
Deal.
Okay.
It's a good deal. Who
We'll
doesn't
see if
like
people
puzzles?
actually listen.
Are the pieces shaped like Tetris pieces?
No, that's shaped like
It's
a
like a
fight.
normal puzzle, or
It's shaped like a normal puzzle, but all the pieces, the grid pattern is all identical, so it makes it super hard to put together.
Fun.
Yeah,
That's
Anyway.
painful.
that is painful. Anyway, Mike, what you
Yeah.
got?
Photons.
Dun dun
Well, lots of things have
Pew,
photons.
pew, pew, pew.
pew
Right.
pew.
So a while ago, I brought up a news article where they made like one photon kind of exist on top of another photon, and they were talking about, hey, this is the first step for making lightsabers. Yeah. So
Now they got 3 photons on top of each other.
This is a photon
not
threesome.
exactly.
Photon orgies.
Photorgy?
Yes.
So some researchers have come up with a theoretical possibility of making a photon molecule.
I thought you were gonna say photon mullet for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, that's what my brain did.
A photon mullet?
Yeah.
The most glorious, bright, shining mullet ever.
I'm gonna have to do like Helios with a mullet now.
Yeah, that would be
No,
that would
bad.
be pretty great. I'd be nice.
Just a
So
mullet made out of diodes.
So basically, what they're theorizing is that you can have 2 photons traveling a path basically right next to each other. And so, in a sense, they become kind of like 2 hydrogen atoms bound together. And basically, they would travel along a finite path.
So like photon fucking torpedoes? Is what I'm hearing?
So photons,
Okay.
they travel in like a wave pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have very specific conditions. You can have 2 photons on the same wave pattern right next to each other.
Yeah.
So they're
I'm still hearing photons.
they're effectively bonded.
Yeah.
But
But they're
not really.
moving and they're bonded, so I'm still hearing
yeah,
photons.
this is molecule with big quotations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near having a lightsaber, but it is a step in the right direction.
So how does this...
So do they force them together? Huh? Force? That's a thing from Star Wars. Lightsabers are from Star Wars too. See what I did there?
See why I groaned there?
Jesus. Hurts.
Dustin's
The,
taking a
pun,
dump.
the puns are painful.
Anyway, so if you real world possible applications that they're looking at this
Yeah,
might
that's what I was
be.
trying to ask.
Well, one thing is that this could be potentially a new basis for computing. So we could have a photon-based computer. One of the things that we're talking about was like in telecommunications, modern communications, you have a electronic system that sends a photon signal through fiber optics, and then has to transfer it back into a electrical system or electrons, and that transferring from photon to electron, the sensor that basically senses the light that's a lot of energy that's lost in that process. If they have the computer is actually based on photons, then you can have the signal being basically the computer that sends the signal and the computer that receives the signal is already photon based. You have much less energy usage to process that signal.
Much less energy and shit's happening like basically in real time.
Pretty much.
Well, shit's already happening in basically real time. Because both photons and electrons move at the speed of light. So,
Science, bitch.
That takes out steps, and there's
Yeah.
energy. You're not going to have as much energy lost because of that. Because considering how much energy it costs to send a photon through fiber optics and then receive it and translate it back into electrons, there's a lot of energy loss in that process. So we use a decent amount of power to do that.
They'll be
Whereas this
more efficient.
type of method, it's super efficient. And definitely.
Well, and the nice thing about fiber optics too is like if it was a purely fiber optic system, your signal loss at any given point would basically be nil, because it doesn't get interfered with like say copper cables or anything like that. Whereas signals can be picked up like an antenna and start fucking with your signal. Whereas light signals, you can't fuck with them.
But they do degrade over time and distance.
That still being said is going to be minimal for
Comparatively.
compared to how it's got to be going now.
Yeah, I think you need like,
especially for short distance stuff. Like if you're like say you wanted to wire like a high definition televisions, like say all that shit started running off optical off a short distance, like you would never have to worry about signal loss again.
Yeah.
Which makes me happy because I'm an AV nerd.
Yeah. Another thing is, with some of the studies they're going to do with this new theory, it's basically they're going to try slowing down the photons, see if they can put the photons into this molecular state, so to say, or binded, and hopefully be able to learn more that they don't know about photons and light and, scientific progress and all that shiz.
Every scientific discovery we make, even if we don't know how we're going to use it yet, is still exciting because the things that we learn help us think of new things that we can learn, basically. Like, that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. They're like, well, if this doesn't help us, why do we care? It's like, well, because it could help us figure out other things that can help us. Just because we don't know how we're using it yet. I mean, how long did it take people to figure out how to use radio waves?
A long time, actually.
So I was just reading about that and I couldn't remember the length of time.
I don't remember the exact
They're like,
length
oh,
of
hey,
time,
these things exist. Way before we were like, oh, hey, we can send signals over these things.
Yeah.
So just because we don't know how we're going to use it now doesn't mean it's not super awesome and exciting.
But, yeah, one other thing I forgot that they mentioned in here was possibility of having a standard candle that sets off a specific number of photons. So for calibrating light sensors, you have a standard candle, and then you can calibrate that sensor based on that standard candle, and all of your sensors will be calibrated exactly the same.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. So there's
simultaneously high-tech and low-tech.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's pretty much it for that article.
Sweet.
I was going to say that, like, and definitely, like, besides sending a signal from computer to computer, we're going to very, very, very soon, we're going to have to figure out a new way to do computers. Because we're reaching the limits of how small we can make the processors and still have them be able to, without interfering with each other, transmit data
at a reasonable rate.
Yeah. That's why, like, computers have kind of frozen around the 3.5 to 4.5 gigahertz range. And the thing is, like, whenever a new generation of our processors come out, they are using that power more efficiently, but we're like when the Core processors first came out, they were like 1.4 gigahertz Core i7, and people were like, why did they get so slow? Well, they weren't slower than the older Pentium chips that were running at 3 or 4 gigahertz. They were much more energy efficient. And now the cores have gotten up to where they're using, up in the 3.5 to 4.5 gigahertz range again. And
at like 8 cores, I think is some of the bigger ones.
Yeah, the enthusiast grade extreme editions run 8 cores. i7s run 6 cores. i5s run 4 cores. i3s run 2 cores, and I think it's only i5s and i6s that are hyper-threaded.
You mean i7s?
i5s and i7s, yeah. I was thinking the 6 cores, sorry. And I think only i5s and i7s are hyper-threaded. i3s I know we're not. i5s may or may not be. And then the i6s, or i7s, sorry, are definitely hyper-threaded. But regardless of whether it's an Intel processor or a AMD processor, we're hitting thermal limits to the point where we can get things to get incrementally smaller again every year and a half or so. But we're going to reach a point where it is the traces have gotten so thin and so small that they're going to actually need to be spaced wider apart to be able to do their job, because they will be so thin and so small that they naturally leach. They start not just leaching or bleeding heat like they do nowadays, which is why you need heat sinks on your processors. Mm-hmm. Or your cell, like for example, if your cell phone's getting hot, that's
like mine, constantly.
Like my old S4.
That's the processor heating up the chipset. But if we're getting to a point where we can't make them any smaller, we'd have to make them larger. If we make the
What?
You both are opening soda bottles at the same time, trying to not go.
You're not my real mom.
But if we're running out of space to use electrically based processors anymore, because we're getting to the point where we're getting them so thin that we're actually having to make the processor bigger to give the thin traces more room between each other, or they will actually not just bleed heat, but start bleeding actual electrons to other traces. And if they start bleeding electrons to other traces, that means you're going to be corrupting data all the time. So, yeah. So we have to find some other way to make computers, to make them smaller and faster than we currently can.
A quick lesson in computing from
Harder,
Mason,
better,
Ireland.
faster, stronger.
Technologic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So like the thing is that the photons, because they are light, and light actually doesn't have a lot of heat attached to it. If we can figure out a way to make the traces, like make the photons follow the traces, even if it's still digital, meaning light on is a positive charge and light off is a negative charge. Mm-hmm. And even if we still have to store the media as electron-based media,
there's still a lot of energy saved, though.
Besides the energy savings, if we can make the computers work faster, make them process more shit at a time.
There was talk of, I know they're experimenting it, but with
quantum computers also, yeah.
Quartz hard drives too.
Yeah,
where the crystals can store like crazy amounts of data.
Also, it would make the hippies super happy.
This computer totally aligns my chakras, man.
That was scary convincing, actually.
Well, when you're at one with the world.
Mumble, drink from soda mumble.
That's how a hippie would do it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the things I know,
but I know them, man.
But I'll preach them like I know what I'm doing.
Damn, Skippy.
What?
The universe breathes into my brain.
Universe.
I give you the air from my lungs.
It's so intimate.
It's a Mason.
Yeah, Mason got a softball lobbed at him this week.
Full on wiffle bat style.
Yeah. As soon as I saw your news hit the internet, I was like, oh.
I would have aimed it, but I know
you may as well just handed this to Mason on a piece of paper and said, "Here, report this."
Yeah.
I totally was like, "Oh, sweet." Wait, no, Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering, my degrees in and shit.
Yeah.
Humans are a hell of a species.
Yeah. We're simultaneously really awesome and dumb as fuck.
What?
But,
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So anyway, we found another long lost cousin, as it were.
Yay.
Homonality, another species of the genus Homo that is from South Africa, which is on the southern range of the original hypothesized human range. And
Also in Africa.
yes, also in Africa, but more up towards Tunisia.
I helped a little.
Thank you. There's a little valley there where they found a whole hell of a lot of human species.
It's like we originated from there or something.
Yeah, or something. So anyway, Homo naledi was found in the Rising Star Caves, which are about 30 miles northwest of Johannesburg. And they've known this is not the first time this cave system has shown primate remains. There have been other ones that were from higher up in this cave, but basically they found a I wouldn't say it's a new shaft, but they found a continuation of a shaft that gets really, really small.
Couldn't resist, could you?
No, I'm just. I don't think she's. I don't know. Have you heard the thing about the people who worked in the shaft?
I know it was a bunch of lady scientists.
Yes, it was all six. It was 6 women.
6 women
working
went down
in
the shaft, working the shaft.
Yeah.
Oh, criminal.
No, it was lady scientists though.
I know.
For realsies, which is fucking awesome. So suck it, misogynist douchebags that posted the things about women scientists distracting whatever that was. Who was it that said that? Some douchebag said that.
Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, the
lady scientists who were working the shaft.
The lady scientists who were working the shaft actually did all of the real work of digging out this fossil and finding it and everything. But of course, Lee Berger, who is a dude who pretty much works down in South, is like, he's the only guy left in paleoanthropology who actually believes that humans originated in South Africa. And he's trying to tout this as more proof that he's right. And that Lucy and Homo habilis are still both flukes, and they just traveled really far or something like that. Sorry, I don't agree with a lot of Berger's hypotheses. But it is cool that they found another branch of the human genus and everything. And I think he's trying to claim this one fits in between Lucy and us, but is trying to say that I think he's trying to end round around habilis. Is kind of what it sounds like.
Do you think he's just placing it wherever conveniently fits his theory? Or do you think he's actually finding things that are...
I don't want to say he's intentionally placing it where it fits his theory, but it certainly does.
People certainly tend to see things that support what they want.
Right. Every worldview has momentum, and the more you believe in a worldview, more things you find with momentum to support it.
It's like in that movie, The Number 23.
Yeah.
The number was probably everywhere before he went crazy, but once he went crazy, he noticed more.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you do not want to be claustrophobic crawling into this place.
No, you don't.
Fuck! Like your first big, like, encounter is something called a Superman's crawl, which you get on your belly, and it's only about 10 inches between you and the ground.
You get on your belly and hope it's not that big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That explains why all the scientist ladies were all skinny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'd have to be to go spelunking.
Yes. This is like crazy. Yeah.
It's tight fittings.
Yeah.
It's a tight shaft.
Jesus.
I mean, I gotta bring it down a little.
You do.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it at a human level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I don't say it and everyone's thinking it, I'm gonna feel like I failed our listeners. So
Gotta bring the intelligence level of the show down a little bit.
I mean,
Here's
I'm
a picture of him,
intelligent.
or
or her.
But
It looks angry.
that's because most of
It's
the
the overhanging
recreations
brow
are,
ridge.
it's
I got it right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's because most of the time when they do the reconstructions of near human faces, they always look angry. Always.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one happy yet. Of course, they also never give them smiles.
Well, but I mean, when you think about chimpanzee smiles, it's not necessarily good, so maybe that's for the best.
But chimps show bottom teeth to. And that when a chimp shows bottom teeth, it's the same as us doing a normal smile.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well then,
So.
get on it, science.
Well, so the thing is that the scientists know that in all likelihood, the human ancestors smiled in one way or another, too.
Yeah.
Whether they smiled like us or smiled like chimps is debatable. I think a big part of it would actually have to do with how large their canines are.
Oh, interesting. Like if you have larger canines, it's
You
a
would
threat.
you would threaten like a chimp
Yeah.
by putting your upper lip up, but smile by showing your lower teeth.
Interesting. That makes sense.
It also does look like they have a bit of an underbite too, so it's gonna
Yeah,
pop their bottom teeth out a little bit more for expressions.
yeah.
Science.
So, but yeah, so it's awesome that we found it. I don't necessarily agree with Lee Berger's analysis, because yeah, politics of anthropology. But I don't necessarily agree with his analysis. But it's cool that we found a new species, and hopefully, in the next few centuries, we can actually finish filling in our family tree.
How many did they find? What down this? It was like 15 or something like that, right? Like
The picture I
How
saw
many
had
of the-
one mostly complete-looking skeleton, which
Yeah.
I'm assuming was made out of pieces of other ones, but it was surrounded by. It was cool how they had it laid out.
it was like on a big slab.
Yeah,
a
like
big
but the
table.
pieces were next to where they would actually be on the skeleton.
Yeah,
That was a neat picture.
yeah.
Lots of pieces.
There was
Pieces.
we're pretty darn good at determining what parts belong to what skeleton.
Yeah.
They could have done a conglomeration, a chimera, basically, of the skeleton to try to figure out as close as possible to like heights and things like that. But if
Can
they
you, like,
found,
measure a shin bone and figure that stuff out?
Yeah, we can.
Because science.
because science, but like, since we're pretty good at figuring out what bones belong to what skeleton, there could have been a nearly complete skeleton or a couple of nearly complete skeletons down there still. Of course, just being exposed over time in the elements, which, granted, where they were, exposure is a relative term, but it wasn't like, compacted burial underneath of, layers of dirt and debris that, things could have moved them, messed with them. Like even small rodents just going on and chewing on the bones for centuries because they were exposed in a cave.
Mm-hmm.
Can move them, can change how they look, things like that. So, yeah. So, awesome. More human.
Yay!
My turn?
We're
Yes.
a wacky bunch.
We are a wacky bunch. So you guys might know, kind of like Mad Max, like a lot. A lot.
Witness me.
Witness me. Sometimes I listen to our podcast. I was listening to that one at work, and it was so hard for me not to laugh at all the shiny and chrome. Totally got that movie for my birthday. I just can't watch it enough. But I
Well,
also
you see, you have to let me borrow it when you go to Salt Lake.
shit. I meant to bring it for you to borrow. I apologize. You can swing by any time and borrow it.
Okay. Let's say if you can just hand it to Mike.
I can hand it to Mike, yeah. I'll hand it to Mike.
Okay.
It's amazing and you need to see it. And my favorite character is Furiosa because she's fucking badass. Like, I'm totally going as her for Halloween. Part of why I like her so much is because she's got a prosthetic arm and they don't address it in the whole movie. Like, it's just a part of the character. Like, it's a cosmetic part of her. Like, it's not, they don't go into a whole story on it. It's not really
okay. Well, just because I don't think it'll ruin the movie for me. How functional is her?
fully functional.
So it's a full cybernetic.
It's like
process.
it's got fingers that work. Like she's badass. Like it locks onto the steering wheel of her vehicle.
Yeah, it's she straps it on with a
it's got like a harness.
A harness for her that straps it onto her arm.
It's a badass fucking prosthetic, and honestly, why I want to go is her for Halloween, because I'm gonna wrap the lower half of my arm in like a black t-shirt and make a thing out of foam, and it's gonna be fantastic. But the fact that she was a strong female character in and of itself, I love that. It's awesome. Like it, to be perfectly honest, when you see it, it's the Furiosa movie with Mad Max in it, in my opinion.
Yeah, the first like maybe 10-15 minutes was Mad Max, and then the rest of it
then
was
it's like, oh, here's Charlize
it's the
Theron being
Furiosa show.
completely fucking badass, and you don't even care that Max isn't in it that much. Like if you Google Mad Max Furiosa, one of the things that pops up is it looks like they're in talks of doing just a Furiosa movie, which would be so cool. But one of the other reasons I like her is because she is an amputee. You know, she's got her missing arm.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make her weaker in any way, and they don't turn it into like a whole thing to take away from the character. Like it's just a part of the character, and it kind of makes her more badass, and I love that. Apparently, so does this woman, Laura Vaughn, who happens to be an amputee in a very similar way to the character Furiosa. And she ended up teaming up with somebody who's a designer who designs cool prosthetics. And she 3D prints them, but she makes fully functioning prosthetics. And she made this woman a Furiosa arm. This woman also happens to be a cosplayer.
Oh, nice.
So they were trying to figure out how to make it fully functional, but also light enough that she could wear it all day at a con without it being terrible. So they opted to 3D print it. They gave it to her in a cool box with we'll put the link up, but they gave her like there's a belt buckle they have on the show that's like a cool steering wheel thing. And they did a really cool photo shoot with her, and it's just really awesome.
I like the picture of her punching the dude with the nub.
Totally badass. Yeah. I thought that was really awesome because it's just a very cool prosthetic, both as far as if you're an amputee goes, also just a prosthetic to be wearing in a movie that's super, super badass. So that was that. I have a second news that I'm waiting to pull up.
I was just gonna say on that though.
Oh yeah.
The thing is like with the prosthetic and stuff, like when it kind of like I know Mad Max is just kind of Mad Max is the world of Mad Max, not Mad Max himself, but the world it's a post-apocalyptic world, and it technically is very, very near future. Yeah, like the original Mad Max movie technically has happened, like timeline wise.
You're gonna love this movie so much.
But like when it comes to prosthetics and stuff, like when I always think about prosthetics in science fiction, which post-apocalyptic is very much a form of science fiction. I always think of cyberpunk prosthetics, where
you're gonna dig this prosthetic.
Some of the people in the cyberpunk worlds got them because they had, a deformity that they were born, without a limb, or they lost it in an accident. But a lot of people voluntarily got their perfectly functioning arms and legs chopped off to get the metal that's better than the meat.
This is almost...
They never... It's kind of almost steampunky to me.
I was going to say, it's more of a steampunk prosthetic.
It's really cool. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures of it, but it's a neat design.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a good look at it. But.
It's fucking cool. It's got... I don't know, it's just... I don't want to say anything else because you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to love this movie. It's seriously... If I had to pick a favorite movie for the year, it would be Mad Max. Shiny and gross. Shiny and fucking gross. I'm telling you, I'm going to get a fucking parrot and teach it to dive bomb people. I keep joking about it, but it's going to happen.
One of the best things about that movie, though, is it doesn't let up at any given point in the movie. It's just go, go, go. And even when you think it's going to slow down, it's like, nope.
When you watch I highly recommend watching the extras on the disc I'll let you borrow. There's a Blu-ray and a DVD in there, which I didn't realize when I got it, and that was really exciting. But one of the guys who worked on it, on the effects, I think it was the I think it was actually the stunt coordinator that said this. He's like, the first half of it is a chase and the second half of it is a race. So it's like, it just doesn't fucking let up the whole time, and it's so great. And I think that's probably why they didn't really address it that much, is because she needs to be able to keep up with people.
Yeah.
She does just fine.
Yeah.
Like, she's super badass, and I think she's one of my favorite, like, she and River Song are kind of duking it out in my brain right now for favorite strong female lead in a sci-fi movie. But so my other news pulled up. So I'm gonna, segues are hard. God, I can smell your fucking Red Bull. Sorry, that Red Bull smell kills me. Scientists think that they've figured out how to test the parallel universe theory.
We speak good.
Me speak real good. We know English. So, you know, parallel universes are kind of one of those things that I think a lot of people don't take seriously because it finds its way into a lot of science fiction, and it's sort of just, you know...
It sounds weird.
It sounds weird. It sounds like something that Isaac Asimov would make up. Or
and if you haven't seen Sliders, go watch it. It's fun.
Oh, God. It doesn't hold up well, though.
I'm sure it does.
No, it does not.
But at the time of, like, 1996, it was a fucking bomb diggity.
God, it was so good at the time. Maybe don't watch it. Like, if you didn't watch it as a child so you don't have good memories to, like, boost it up in your brain, maybe don't watch it, because rewatching it as an adult was really hard. But
John Rhys Davies.
The idea, basically, there's lots of theories on the universe and how different universes interact, and there's like the whole, bubble universe theory, things like that. But scientists, they debate about it, but how do you test something like that? You know, it's like it's fun to speculate about, but how the hell do you test that there's other theories? Anyways.
Multiple universes.
Thank you. The multiverse theory. Yes. So it's one of those things. Let me just read this. The idea that the universe is perhaps one of many is derived from current theories like quantum mechanics and string theory. It talks about Schrodinger's cat, which is both dead and alive at the same time until you open the box with poison in it. And the reason that our brains have difficulty processing that kind of concept is basically what they're saying here. But basically they're thinking that they can use quantum mechanics to figure this out. Hang on, I'm going down. How about I wear my glasses? That might actually be very helpful.
You need to read things on the screen?
Yeah, I know, right? It says, in order for string theory to work mathematically, it requires at least 10 physical dimensions. Since we can only observe 4 dimensions, height, width, depth, and time, the extra dimensions of string theory must be hidden if it is to be correct. So they're basically saying that these extra dimensions have to be compactified, really? I don't think that's a word. By being curled up in such a way that they're too small to be seen. So the theory is that because string theory... I should have just handed you this. Basically, string theory doesn't necessarily prove it, but that they think that they can use string theory to test it because, again, it requires... I don't know how they figured that it requires at least 10 dimensions.
Because that's how the only way to get the math to work.
Yeah. I don't understand how math like that works, but...
So any less and it just kind of falls apart?
Yeah, exactly. It unravels, one might even say. The string unravels.
It snaps?
No, it unravels totally worked. What was wrong with what I said? Why do you gotta
He was
hate?
trying to one-up you.
Why
I was trying to come up with the other option.
Why do you gotta hate?
Hating.
Because he's hating. Because he's a hater.
Haters gonna hate.
You're tearing this family apart.
So basically they're working on, there's kind of a race going on where scientists are working to figure out how to use string theory to test for multiple universes. So we might be seeing some pretty cool Star Trekian things happening.
So since I've already got a goatee, am I the evil me?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just the goatee, Mason.
Oh, okay.
I think that means we're all the evil S's sitting at this table.
Not me!
Well, the dudes.
God, I hope I have a goatee in another
Unless in an
universe.
alternate universe, you're a dude, and then maybe he's the evil one.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, like, I hope I have a goatee in an alternate universe.
Oh.
But
Are
I'm
you
not a
saying
dude.
I would say, are you saying she can't have a goatee as a woman? Is that what you're saying?
I have a couple little hairs. This one's Clyde. But I plucked him, so he's gone.
That's awesome. I'm not saying
mean-
she couldn't, like, just,
I
one
tried
on.
really hard. And
next time I shave my head, I'll bring the hair to you. And you just a
Really
little bit of
gross.
spray glue. And,
super gross. Super gross. I've got like 3 of them. They just need to try harder.
they need to wake up their neighbors.
Let's not wake up our neighbors, actually. Don't listen to him, Clyde.
So why Clyde? You got me curious.
I don't even remember. He's been Clyde for as long as I can remember. I think an ex named him, actually, if I remember correctly.
Clyde.
The other ones had names at one point, but I don't remember them.
Or name him Klaus.
No. Clyde's the only one that really gets a name. He was the first one that popped up, so. It's Clyde. Yeah. Ta-da!
Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde.
Yeah. This is the ghosts
Yeah.
from Pac-Man.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Oh, okay.
What do you take me for?
I don't know. I didn't know. Sorry.
I worked in an arcade for 3 years.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He was mentioning it for the audience at home.
But he was looking right at me, Mike.
I was looking right at Nikki.
So,
String theory.
String theory.
On the note that we're all fighting now, evidently.
Yeah.
Hey, we could even have a super fight.
Oh yeah.
Segue into the
Stay
next
tuned
episode.
to our YouTube channel. Meow.
You guys can't see what
was
happened,
my George
but he
Takei.
did a hand wave. He did a floppy wrist moment. It was pretty glorious.
That was my George Takei meow.
Oh, okay.
Meow.
my.
Oh meow.
On that note,
Things got weird.
shit was already weird. We were all 4 in a room together late at night. It's always weird.
Yeah. It's not that late. It's
We
only
make it
9:30.
weird.
So did I miss it? What's the actual test? Like,
They haven't figured it
They
out
haven't
yet.
figured it out yet.
They,
Oh.
Their words,
Okay, here's one of the rules of modern physics. Say shit so people still think you're relevant to the scientific community.
yeah. Be
Oh.
like, hey, look at this thing that we're working on. See us? Look, we're not just sitting on our asses playing
Wait.
Tetris and Candy Crush.
which is weird because if you've seen the movie The Theory of Everything, what Mason just said is pretty much like the entire fucking scope of that movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to, though.
It's a pretty good movie.
The thing is that, like, physics has done a lot of awesome, cool stuff in the past. Like, figured out how to harness nuclear energy, make lasers, get us into
I
space.
do like lasers and space.
It allows modern electronics to happen to create computers, and but they haven't done much since the 1940s.
I'm sure there's certain physical limitations that we keep running into.
Well, part of it is that almost no modern physicists want to be practical physicists. There's no glory in the field of physics being a practical physicist. All the glory in the field of theory of physics is in hypothetical physics.
Theoretical physics.
Oh, like, what's his face from Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, Sheldon versus Leonard.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he poo-poos on Leonard a lot of the time. He doesn't think Leonard is smart, is because Leonard works in practical physics. Whereas practical physics can actually do things. Theoretical physics is all this really... Like, they can't even prove stuff.
It's magic.
Well, it's mathematics, but...
Science is magic.
Math magic.
Didn't you see the
It's
t-shirt I
Wait,
posted?
mathemagical.
That's
what?
Beaker from the Muppets holding 2 beakers with like a liquid rainbow going between them, and it says "Science is magic." Like,
Well, it is.
If it's still up for sale when we get paid, I'm totally buying that shirt because it's amazing.
But,
It
like,
is.
But, like...
Magic is just science we don't understand yet.
But, like, you have, like, chemistry, which is considered the other really, really hard science. Like, chemistry does things like make medicines and adhesives and solvents and fuel.
That's what I think.
And, things that are useful.
Like cars that can get about 300 miles on a tank of salt water.
Yeah.
I saw that on the news the other day. That was pretty exciting.
But,
90 miles to the gallon.
That's stuff that's done by chemists a lot of the time. And sometimes with the help of practical physicists. But the theoretical physicists are just running around going, I have a new variation of string theory. My math is internally consistent. You can't stop me.
Whee! He was waving his arms above his head while he was
Throw
doing
underwear on your head, run around screaming, I'm a pretty princess.
Right. But the problem is that's what a lot of... And, physicists are so arrogant a lot of time. They look down on... they do look down on other scientists. They think they're the penultimate science. But when you start grilling about the last time their science did anything fucking practical, they shut up really quick. Because they haven't done anything practical since the 40s.
But look, shiny new formula that
Doesn't
kind of
do-
makes sense.
Doesn't do anything off of that chalkboard.
It works at about that point, but then I can't really get it beyond that.
But I can't solve the rest
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
I'm working on it, though. And that it's going to maybe be relevant. Yeah.
And the thing is but then the thing is, you do have, without theoretical physicists, we wouldn't have things like the Large Hadron Collider.
Hadron's going to hate.
Hadron's gonna hate.
Or Hade.
Yep, Hadron's gonna hate. But anyway, the Large Hadron Collider could produce a lot of valuable data about very, very tiny small particles that we can't directly observe, which may actually help us learn how to do things and allow practical physics to push the current boundaries of what they can do. For example, one of a relatively working hypothesis on how to go faster than light is warp bubble theory, where
where you just fold the universe.
you make a bubble of the universe around something, and then instead of moving the thing, you move the bubble
Across the bubble.
Yeah. So, with the applications of things that might come out of the Large Hadron Collider, we might actually be able to get that to work, and therefore have faster than light space travel. Or at least light speed space travel.
Are you just teleporting at that point?
Kinda.
It's not really faster than...
Well,
You're bending space.
You found the shortcut.
Yeah.
basically you're using shortcuts is a good way to put it.
So you
I
got
found the
there
warp zone.
faster. You just weren't
Bringing it
moving
back.
fast.
I'm
Yes.
bringing it back. I
Nice
found
job,
a warp
buddy,
zone.
tying it in.
But the way that works isn't so much that the ship moves or the universe moves, is that the bubble moves through the universe. But the bubble doesn't have any mass, so it can move at a
That's my
speed.
Skittles face. It's fine.
It can move faster than light. But yeah.
Smells like fake fruit.
Oh god, it's Skittle Orchards. Those are so nasty.
Jelly.
Not even remotely. But yeah. So, like, information that comes out of the Large Hadron Collider about the minuscule particles that we can't directly observe could help work on that to get that warp drive to work. Like the fact that we've probably discovered the Higgs boson. I mean, they're doing the serious, like, looking at the numbers now, not just the initial excitement, to prove that we really did. But if we found the Higgs boson and therefore actually have found the thing that causes mass, that's a big deal. Like, if we can figure out, like, say, how to make Higgs bosons go away from an object for a little while, so we can speed it up really, really quick, and then have them come back when it slows down again, we could make
Warp drives.
warp drives or other kinds of faster than light travel. So, yeah, but we don't know yet.
Space.
And then finally we can get a legitimate Star Trek sleeper.
But yeah,
That's my ringtone right now, by the way.
yeah. But no, I mean, but like so I guess theoretical physics kind of have a point. Theoretical physicists kind of have a point to their existence. To help get things like the Large Hadron Collider funded. But besides that, they're
to complete their hypotheses before they die.
yeah. But besides that, they don't do much. I mean, they don't really work in astrophysics. They don't work in applied physics. They don't do anything that has to do with physical matter like chemistry does. They don't work on biology. They don't work on understanding the psyche of humans or other animals like, anthropology or primatology do. They don't do much. Except for hang around and take up office space on university campuses.
I'm sure Stephen Hawking is just like, yeah.
Well, okay, but the thing is that for every Stephen Hawking,
There's 8 Sheldons.
but you get hundreds of other professors who are theoretical physics professors who are always in the shadows of the giants. They're never standing on the shoulders of the giants.
That's true, and probably working on things that already exist.
Or variations thereof.
Yeah.
Their own pet variation of what if you replace a Y with an X in this model of string theory.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're...
I'm working on my own string theory right now.
Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, that's sorry about my rant.
It's more of
about
a string
theoretical
law.
physicists,
I'm
But
crocheting.
dope.
Sorry.
Physics.
Yeah, sorry about the rant about theoretical physicists, but yeah. But the Stephen Hawkings, and Einsteins, and the guys who work in that field that really break the boundaries of their time are very few and far between. And there's hundreds of guys that don't ever do anything of significance in between. But the problem is you need all these guys of significance to keep the field going until the next brilliant dude comes along.
Have you guys ever heard of MC Hawking?
Yes, I have. He is quite awesome.
For those of you who don't know, there's a nerdcore rapper out there who raps as Stephen Hawking.
Is the same voice program.
Yep. He's got a whole song he does with MC Frontalot called Bitch Slap that's all about Stephen Hawking making a contraption to bitch slap an intern because he brought him the wrong coffee. It's amazing. It's fantastic. That's my knowledge of physicists. They rap.
Only the cool ones.
Only the cool ones. I like Skittles.
Didn't they
Apparently.
actually show MC Hawkins, or have Stephen Hawkins listen to MC Hawkins? He was like, I don't get it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking's brain is completely
He exists on a different
completely
level.
wired differently than anybody else on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like
That's why I'm actually hoping he donates his brain to science. So scientists don't have to steal it like they did Einstein's.
yoink. That's the last thing you hear. What the hell?
It happened. No, the guy was supposed to do the autopsy. He was like, I feel like I should save this.
Yeah.
Stuck it in a lunchbox. Took it home with him. I shit you fucking not. That
Well,
is
I
how it went
understand
down.
that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying.
But they
Yeah.
actually, because they've...
No, but he actually stuck it in his lunchbox to take it home.
Yeah.
Well, what else are you going to put it in that's not inconspicuous?
Or you could just not steal brains.
The thing is that it was Einstein's brain, and I understand why he did it, because
Felt like he was doing his duty, I'm sure, at that
the
point.
dude,
But he did it wrong.
he did it totally
Oh,
wrong.
totally wrong.
And totally unethically. But,
But I mean, like, literally, the slides that he made, he did wrong.
yeah.
So they weren't even useful.
They're way too
So he stole a brain
A
for
famous
science,
brain.
and then just, like, fucked it up.
Yeah,
So they
because he
can't
didn't know
use
how
it.
to make...
Yeah.
He didn't know how to make anatomical slides.
Yeah. It's funny to me.
Yeah. However, they do know that Einstein's brain doesn't look like a normal human's brain.
I thought I had read that it didn't look different.
Superficially it doesn't, but there's some weird stuff that was going on in some areas.
Interesting.
So that may actually be his uber intelligence.
Yeah.
That things were weird in certain areas.
Oh, didn't it have, like, more wrinkles or something like that?
Yeah.
So it had more surface area. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Wonder that would be a really cool study too, to compare his brain to also other people who are on the autism spectrum, because the autism spectrum is a crazy place to be, and seeing how intelligent those people can be, even though they're perceived as.
I was talking to somebody who was saying that they thought that autism was like the next step in human evolution.
No.
And it was like our brains trying to figure out how to process more information, and just not quite doing it right. But
I think the next step in
Well,
human
the problem
evolution is
the inherent problem with that hypothesis is that humans have to be social creatures to reproduce.
that's true.
Autistic people are generally not social
The
creatures.
same person actually had a theory that homosexuality was hypothesis that
No, it's an important.
no, I know
it's
it
a
is.
horribly
I know
important
it is.
distinction.
I know it is. I know it is.
Yeah.
Also, I'm totally singing Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've got a theory in my head right now. But they had this hypothesis that maybe homosexuality was also an evolutionary thing, because our planet is so overpopulated, resources are limited, that maybe that was the human.
I also heard it was also
There's
the
also
idea
there's homosexuality in other species besides humanity.
Yeah, but I mean, just
But,
in general, like.
Um,
I'm not saying I believe it. I just thought it was an interesting point of view to think about.
it is. Have you ever heard of the gay uncle hypothesis?
No. But everybody's got one.
Pretty much. But
1 out of every 4 Americans has.
But no, the hypothesis basically
name is
says
Steve.
that because men are capable of impregnating multiple women, not simultaneously, but within relatively short order, the number of viable males is less necessary than the number of viable females. By viable, I mean able to breed. Or having the inclination to breed, I guess is another way to put it.
Okay.
So when populations get either too high or overrun with men, like, because if there's for some reason just a random ass genetic swing that says there's more boys being born than girls, there is a higher likelihood of men becoming homosexual, because you don't want to run the people out of society, because having humans around is useful. Because there's nothing that prevents a homosexual male from hunting or doing other masculine style like jobs any better or any worse than a straight guy.
Tell that to the Greeks, because they knew what was going on.
So, so the gay uncle can go hunt and fish along with your dad.
Okay. Kind of like
So
how
they
in
can
certain
bring back-
animal populations,
But they would
if
just do it
there's not enough-
far more fabulously. Let's
Right.
admit it.
Pink plaid still works.
Pink camo,
Actually, it still works just fine for most animals, because most animals are colorblind, and all you need to do is break a pattern.
and
Exactly.
and
I don't know if that's what
and
Dustin
Dolce
wanted.
and Gabbana arrowheads. I mean, come on.
They're fabulous.
They would see diamonds flying right at their eyes.
That's right.
But diamonds are very sharp.
And they're forever.
Very, very hard, and they can be, that
Actually,
would be...
diamonds can be ground to dust pretty easy.
I know. I'm just.
But I mean...
Fuck you, De Beers.
Diamonds are a deer's best friend, or worst.
Well,
enemy.
but I mean, like, diamond tip, like, drill bits.
Oh, I know.
I
know.
mean, it wouldn't
I'm
be...
trying to make a joke, Nikki,
I know, Dustin.
and you're
You ruined
destroying
mine
it by being
earlier.
logical.
You ruined mine earlier. I'm just doing you a favor.
But that's the gay uncle hypothesis. Is
It's
that
interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, like...
it doesn't. It takes into no account for lesbians whatsoever.
Well, no.
But-
But we're there.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the theory behind that if you have A, you have to have B,
No,
or
That-
the hypothesis. Sorry.
no. That's the thing is that there is no necessity for A and B. You can have A without B or B without A. There's no need for.
Multiple men.
There's
The way that theory went.
Well,
was that
what
you-
he's saying
one-
is that you have to have gay guys, you have to have lesbians.
Yeah.
What
Because
I'm-
A exists, B also is
Right.
going to
Yeah.
exist.
there isn't a necessity for that to exist. Is what I'm saying.
Because we're fucking awesome.
I agree with you, and that's fine.
See? There you go.
But no,
But mathematically and
But
genetically.
there's no inherent reason for one or the other.
Yeah.
To necessitate the other's existence.
I gotcha. They're not dependent on each
They're
other.
not dependent on each other.
Yeah.
So, and the unfortunate reality of humans for a very long time was, I'm a lesbian, so what?
Yeah.
Well, I also heard there's also the hypothesis too that lesbians exist to increase straight male arousal, thus causing to procreate even more.
Yeah, but that's such a misogynistic
that is a
hypothesis.
super misogynistic
I
hypothesis.
don't even want to acknowledge it.
I can't remember where I read that.
Right. I would just,
I'm gonna guess someplace.
It was like
that
10 years ago, and I read
Yeah,
it somewhere.
that's-
yeah.
I mean, but like even if you look at duck populations, this is one of my favorite examples.
Yeah.
When ducks mate for life,
Yeah.
and they also have same-sex pairings. It's a thing that happens. Oftentimes, you will see when there's a same-sex pairing of ducks, one of them changes their plumage.
Yeah.
And I have people that are like, oh, well, that's just because it's a young duck. Its plumage isn't in it. It's like, no, look at it. The
No.
plumage is in. It's just changing colors.
Yeah.
Like, you can see transgender ducks. It's a thing that exists in nature.
Yeah. Also, and one of the other things is like, I don't know about ducks, but because they're also a bird, this is likely. But they have found definitive proof in penguins that
Yes!
same-sex couples of
I
penguins
have that book!
will adopt orphaned.
There's a
penguin
children's book called
pups.
Tango Makes 3.
I
And
don't
it's
know what are baby penguins called,
I don't know.
but
Fluffy.
fluffy and adorable.
Happy Feet.
Yeah.
There's Happy Feet that
Yeah.
get adopted by gay penguins. No, there's a children's book out there. Actually, one of Angie's friends gave her, and I'm trying to talk her into letting me buy them off of her. It's a couple of children's books. One of them's called The Sissy Duckling, and I don't like the title of it necessarily, but it's all about a duck who's artistic and flouncy, and his dad's mean to him, and then he ends up saving the day with his dad calls him a sissy, and it's got a positive message. I don't necessarily agree with the use of the word, but
Okay, but the use of the word actually is kind of important.
it is, and I know that.
Because-
I know that.
It's that knockdown that society
Yeah.
wants to give people who are not
Yeah.
considered normal.
Yeah, but then
And
it ends up being a
being
positive
that-
trait.
right.
But there's another one called And Tango Makes 3, and it's by the same author. The illustrations are great. I love children's books. I like the illustrations. I like the simple stories. I think they're
Everybody
great.
poops.
Yeah. But this one's called And Tango Makes 3, and it's all about the zookeeper who notices that these two male penguins have decided that they want to be a mated pair, and how sad they are, and how they're trying to hatch rocks when the other penguins are hatching eggs.
Yeah.
And then like another family has two baby penguins, and they can only take care of one at a time. Apparently, if penguins have twins, they only
Take
care of one of them.
Yeah.
So they give the baby penguin to the two daddy penguins, and it ends up being super happy family, and it's super cute. And it's an adorable children's story about a penguin with two daddies. And I may or may not have teared up a little bit when I read it.
Yeah, I remember watching that video too of the what was it? It was his plead for, I don't remember what it was, but he was the son of two moms, and he was like in his early 20s, super
I've
smart
seen
dude,
the video you're talking
and
about.
it just crushes you like
Yeah.
from the inside,
Yeah.
like
Why
it-
can't my
just-
moms be married? Basically.
Yeah, it was just like this.
No, they've actually done long-term studies at this point, and there are no adverse effects to being raised by a same-sex couple. Like it's
You're not automatically gay.
no, you're not. I mean, if that was how it would if that was how it worked, I'd be straight because I was raised by two straight people.
Right.
You know, so like I know actually several people who have same-sex parents that are straight as an arrow. It's
Yeah.
funny to me, but
I've told Evie as a joke, but and as seriously too. I was like, you know what? If you ever have a girlfriend, you better adopt and
Effie
bring me some
doesn't
grandkids.
get it yet.
you
She doesn't get it yet, but is that image is, but that
have you
thought
heard the
is
Macklemore
there.
song that he did for his little girl?
Oh Christ, no!
Oh my God, Macklemore has a daughter now, and he
Oh.
did a song for his little girl, and it's free. You can get it for free on the internet, and like on his website, like he released it for free, and it's got this whole line that's like about bringing her girlfriend to prom when she gets older, and it's so sweet and it's so cute, and I love it, and it makes me happy. And then Amanda Palmer and Neil Gaiman, with their baby coming, posted a picture to Instagram last week that was like they were on their way to a breathing class and there was this giant rainbow and they're like, well, it's decided he's gonna be gay. It made me happy.
This show has gone on
This
way too
tangent.
long.
Yeah.
We should probably.
Holy Christ. Well, granted, 20 minutes of that was us bullshitting, but we're
Oh, we usually bullshit quite a
We're
bit.
about an hour
The
and a
giraffes
half.
at the Boise Zoo used to be a gay pair. Actually, one of them died, and so now I think it's a male and a female. But we had gay giraffes at the Boise Zoo.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, people.
Yep.
More power to you.
So I was finding funny about most versions of the animated or whatever versions of the story Noah's Ark, when they show the lions getting on,
And it's
it's always too many lions.
Yeah.
Gay
Yeah.
pride.
Yep.
Pride. Lion joke.
You ever seen that joke before?
No.
Oh.
It's amazing.
I saw a meme floating around that was just
Gay pride is a bunch
it
of
was
male
just
lions.
this picture of a male lion just giving it to another male lion from behind, and it just said gay pride. That's all. It made me giggle.
God damn it. Let's end it on that classy fucking note.
All right. For the Nerd Effect News Show, we have been.
/ gay rights
come over.
talk
Holy shit,
show.
he's still here.
You guys
I-
finish.
You haven't spoken in the last 30 minutes.
It's true.
We could have passed out or left, and nobody would ever have known.
I've been behaving here, okay?
That's true. He hasn't had an outburst this whole.
I'm actually.
And I talked about the gay uncle hypothesis.
I just. Anyway,
so
your
much
turn.
Gordon. It's
Anyway,
fine.
I'm Mason Ireland.
I'm Nikki Prindle.
and I'm Dustin Vancouver, and
That went
well, I guess
places
we'll catch you
we weren't
guys next
expecting.
time. What happened?
Tangents, sleep deprivation, and Skittles.